Welcome back to the Football Terrace. It's the Done Deal Show. Lots to talk about this morning. And of course, big up, shout out to our title sponsors, StocksFC. Sign up to your account now. And I do want to let you know as well, there is the biggest IPO probably in the history of StocksFC being announced in a couple of days' time. So get your account set up, get it ready. Trust me, I know who these two names are coming out, and they are massive, and I think the return of investment could be huge. So get signed up to your free account now by scanning on that QR code. I want to start with Chelsea today, though. And a big story emerging this morning that says Chelsea continue their Victor Osimhen talks after the Napoli axe. Chelsea are said to be continuing talks over a deal. The Nigerian striker has been a long sort of prominent name on the transfer wish list at Stamford Bridge. New Napoli boss Antonio Conte remains eager for a reunion with Lukaku, with Chelsea entering discussions over a possible part exchange deal early this week. Those negotiations are believed to be ongoing after Osimhen was left out of Napoli's squad for yesterday's pre-season defeat by the La Liga side Girona. And of course, that's led to more speculation that the deal is advancing, and I think the deal is advanced. I think we could all sit here and say this deal is advanced. I don't think that can be denied. I don't think that can be debunked in any capacity. It's clearly, absolutely clearly, in an advanced stage with both clubs in deep negotiations. It's whether or not Chelsea can get this over the line, and I think they need it. I know they made some defensive mistakes yesterday that cost them against Man City, and I think some of these defensive mistakes will continue for a small period of time. And the reason that I say that is because this is a team and this is a club that is transitioning into what I believe is going to be a very different style of football. They will be asked to do things in a different way to that of Poch and co before them. But one thing that stands out to me is the approach play from Chelsea has been pretty good. The problem that still lies within this Chelsea team, in my humble opinion, is the ability to finish these gilt-edged chances. Where are these additional goals going to come from? And Osimhen could be that guy. But as ever, look, Chelsea fans, give us your thoughts and your feelings on this update. What do you make of him not being picked for the pre-season game? Is that a sign that a deal was getting closer? Or do you think that is the media putting two and two together and getting 500? Let us know in the comment section below. Now, I want to speak about Arsenal for a moment here. The reason I want to speak about Arsenal for a moment is a story came out today that Atletico Madrid will present a formal offer of around 60 million euros to Manchester City for Julian Alvarez. PSG's bid and contract offer is higher, but Madrid have the advantage because of the city. Maybe he wants to play in Madrid more than Paris. Fair enough. And this echoes exactly what Fabrizio Romano told us a couple of days ago, that they are the two likely destinations. But what's very interesting, and I understand why, both big clubs in their own right, they both want him. I think Julian Alvarez would be an excellent signing, but both of these bids are currently below what Manchester City want, which is around that 80 million euro mark. We saw the Daily Mirror on Friday evening report that Arsenal are monitoring the situation. That news has then been pushed out again today, okay, by the Evening Standard. A new report in the Sunday Mirror claimed that Arsenal were eyeing a shock deal for the striker. The Argentine World Cup winner's future at the Etihad Stadium has become a subject to doubt over recent weeks, with Chelsea linked both Atletico Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain supposedly in talks over a potential move. So what I want to be very clear about is I've had a few people say, Terry, but the stories don't add up. This journalist says that. This journalist says this. You've done stories on both. Yes, we're a fan channel. We react to what's in the news and we get your opinion on it. We don't make the news. We're not the source of the information. We're not saying that we spoke to our sources at Arsenal and they're about to make a bid. Arsenal, though, monitoring another striker. I want to know what Arsenal fans think of that. Why monitor it? I know Chelsea might be getting Victor Osimhen, so that makes sense. They're in those conversations. We know that is a deal that is being discussed for them. But I think Arsenal should strike on Alvarez. I really do think they should. I know that Victor Gyökeres is a very good striker as well. I know he is. He's very good from what I've seen. But I think there's less risk and more potential with Julian Alvarez. They're eyeing the deal, but what does that mean? They're eyeing the deal, but what does that mean? Now, some will say that's just media talk. You know, I don't buy into that sort of notion anymore. Having got to know a number of journalists, I don't know the journalist that wrote this story, but although people think they're just on this brown envelope mission, I've got to create some clicks for my website, it really isn't as simplistic. It really isn't as easy as that in terms of what you have to do behind the scenes before you're allowed to publish a story. And I've had those conversations with people. So there is a link here, but I want to understand why when it comes to Nico Williams, when it comes to Julian Alvarez, even when it comes to Victor Gyökeres, it's just monitoring and scouting and looking. What are Arsenal waiting for? Is it just the sale of Eddie Nketiah? Or is it they haven't decided on who they want yet? A genuine question. And I've got my own thoughts and feelings, but this is more of I want to gauge your opinions on this. I want to understand what you think is going on here, because this could be another top player. If Atletico Madrid and PSG pull this off, I think Arsenal, and I do think Chelsea potentially as well, are missing out on a golden opportunity. City are not selling him to Liverpool, in my opinion, because of the City rivalries, as in the two cities. Definitely not selling him to Man United. He's never going to pick Tottenham. The other two options in England for him, Arsenal, Chelsea, I really think they should try and get that done. Now, moving on to Liverpool. Now, this is an interesting one this story that's come out today. It says that Liverpool are going to join Newcastle in the £75 million Marc Guehi race. Liverpool have reportedly joined in. Reports have surfaced earlier this week that claim that Newcastle have open talks with Palace over a potential deal. But now reports suggest that Liverpool could be getting involved as well. And I've seen this trending, and I've seen this everywhere. And I thought to myself, why? That was my first thought, was why. I've seen a few Liverpool fans talking about it, and I'm like, guys, I know that the Evening Standard has pushed this news out, and I know that you really want to see some transfer news. Now, when I say why, I think Marc Guehi's a good centre-back. But you have Kwanzaa, you have Konate. Do you need a Mark? You've still got Van Dijk. Do you need a Guehi now at this particular juncture? I don't know. But equally, I think there's such sort of excitement and want from Liverpool fans to have transfer news. I saw this story in the Evening Standard. I saw this story on a number of aggregator websites. And then when you dig and dig and dig, you find out it is sourced from The Sun. So I just want to say this now, and I mean this with the utmost respect. When it comes to Liverpool transfer news, I don't trust The Sun on most of its stories and most of its articles. Doesn't mean they haven't got things right in the past. I'm not going to sit here and be an arse about it. But when it comes to Liverpool transfer stories, I don't trust it in any capacity, because nobody at Liverpool is verifying these stories. And I don't believe anybody they're working alongside to complete a deal in England would also give information to The Sun, knowing the sensitivity, and rightfully so, regarding their relationship. So as much as Liverpool fans may hope this happens, it's one that just don't sit. And I'm not trying to play Liverpool down here. I feel like I'm defending Liverpool a little bit, but everyone might interpret that a little bit differently. Having said that, if they were to pull this off, I was looking at StocksFC today. I think Marc Guehi would be a really good investment. I really do. I really do. I believe that going to Liverpool, the price you could buy him for and the potential rewards that you could get on top could be absolutely massive. Of course, being at Palace, conceded a lot of goals, team's not in a very good state, didn't win a lot of games for a long time. Hard for him to earn reward points, even though his quality as a player was good. So listen, if you're someone that thinks that Guehi could go to Newcastle, if you do think Guehi could end up at Liverpool, it may be a very good time on StocksFC to invest in him as a player. So look, I'd love to get your thoughts, love to get your feelings on that in the comments section below. I'll tell you another stock that's also worth looking at. And this may be someone worth selling. Depends on what you think is going to happen. Conor Gallagher. This is what I mean by investing properly on the platform. Conor Gallagher only costs $1.02 per stock. But he pays out in terms of rewards at £2.33 per stock. Now, he could be leaving the Premier League, which is a problem, because then you'll only earn points in Champions League, Europa League and international games that he plays. The other leagues' performances are not supported. But if he stays in the Premier League, he actually could be a very, very, very worthwhile investment. But if you do own stock in Conor Gallagher and he's leaving, now could be the right time to sell and reinvest. I'm just putting that out there because he was a player I was looking. One of my little strategies is to look at players whom earn more than they cost, because that obviously makes sense, right? And then obviously I've got to judge where I think they're still going to have a good season or not. And I was looking at Conor Gallagher, a player I don't particularly rate, but I thought he could make me some money on this. But I'm not going to buy any stocks in him if indeed he's going to leave the Premier League, because I don't think he's going to have enough games where rewards are being earned. But definitely worth a look, depending upon your strategy, depending upon what you're building so far on StocksFC. I know a lot of you are using it. Over 3,000 of you are kind of using it. And just most of you are just building your strategy right now, which I think is very safe and very sensible way of doing things. But as ever, look, I want your thoughts and feelings on these transfer stories. Hit the like and the share button before you leave. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you soon. Peace.